Well, you've never really thought of yourself as a fighter, and even to say it now, it sounds hokey. But looking back on the past few months to where you are now, it really does feel like you've endured an immense struggle, and you look at where you are now with a sense of something that isn't quite pride. You still hate your job and find it unpleasant, but you're surprised to find that going into work every day is no longer a monumental challenge. You've started adopting some clever techniques, like taking short 2-minute breaks every hour to break up the monotony, and you now view your job as just 8 short hours of your day, a compartmentalizing technique Dr. Melville told you about that you found actually works quite well. You know this job isn't what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you've started actively looking for other positions, even attending a couple of preliminary interviews. You started making effort to go out with your friends more. While the social scene still makes you very uncomfortable sometimes, you're more and more able to let yourself just enjoy the company of your friends. In fact, your relationship with many of them has increased over the past little while. You still definitely have days where you flake out or don't feel up to hanging out, but for the most part your friends are understanding and appreciate your communication. By far the biggest change you've noticed in your life has been in a relationship with Alex. You were terrified of talking to her about everything at first, but looking back you feel like it's only strengthened your relationship. She was always supportive of you emotionally, but lately the two of you have been even more in sync, and it's really starting to feel like you're building a life together. It even seems like the two of you have been making a more concerted effort to sync up your schedules, and have been spending more and more of your downtime with each other. Pretty soon you think moving in together may be a very real possibility. Dr. Melville has commented on how well you seem to be doing, and whether a result of the therapy, the medication, or both, you can't help but agree. With all that seems to have improved recently, it's sometimes difficult for you to think about the fact that you still have bad days, sometimes even really bad days. The surface is a stark reminder of the fact that this will be something you likely have to deal with for the rest of your life. Depression is a battle, and though you're certainly ahead in the fight, you know the battle isn't ever going to be over. Sometimes even Alex can tell when things are going rough, despite your best efforts to the contrary. While you know that your depression can never be cured, you have a very strong support network in your friends and even Malcolm, and armed with a newfound confidence in your friends and family, you accept that though the road may be rocky, it is at the very least not solitary. You meet your mom's gaze from across the table and muster up a smile. "I'm good, Mom," you tell her. She says nothing, but you can feel her smile from across the room. And apparently there's an epilogue. We really want to thank you for taking the time to play Depression Quest. We realize it may not be the most enjoyable game you've ever played, or even the easiest, and we sincerely appreciate your involvement. Like depression itself, Depression Quest does not have an end, really. There's no neat resolution to depression, and it was important to us that Depression Quest's own resolution reflects that. Instead of a tidy ending, we want to just provide a series of outlooks to take moving forward. After all, that's all we can really do with depression. Just keep moving forward. And at the end of the day, it's our outlook and support from people just like you that make all the difference in the world. Thanks again. Credits. So if anybody wants to have any credits here of the piano stuff or whatever, you can pause here. And at the end, I even thank us and you for being willing to play games that are meant to be something other than simply fun. Alright, so that was Depression Quest. It is free on Steam, as I said, and if you'd like, you can play it and see what the other choices do. I guess I quote-unquote accidentally took the right path basically the path out of depression. And some people who haven't experienced depression might say, "Oh, that was easy," but I want you to know that it's not. However, I'm hoping that by taking this right path, which I didn't look it up, I just did the things that I've learned in the past year or so. I hope it can inspire some people who have depression that is worse than mine still, to maybe make some positive steps in their life, and to look for a doctor specifically, maybe get some meds. I know meds aren't great. Nobody likes taking meds, especially me. I like home remedies and plant-based meds and stuff, So for me, it was a thought of impossibility until about a year ago. I had a really bad breakdown, and I just couldn't be talked to anymore, and I was just gone. So, at some point you think, okay, do I want to deal with possible side effects? I'm saying possible because it's not a guarantee that it happens, of maybe gaining some weight, maybe having some sleep issues, and maybe the depression getting a little worse even. But I get a chance at improving this, or do I just want to keep being dead? Because that's all it is. Depression is like being dead, not physically, but mentally, definitely. And if you don't enjoy anything anymore and stuff, it's like, what's the worst that the medication could do, really? Especially if you're being checked the whole time, and if you have issues with it, you can talk to your doctor, and he's gonna put you on another med, and at some point they're gonna find one that works for you. So in the meantime, you can get better, just like this person in this game, or like me. Even though I have to change the meds again, like I said, because it's not really working that great anymore right now. But I haven't, despite that, I haven't gotten back into those really, really bad days anymore anyways, despite the med not being the right for me. I haven't had any suicidal thoughts or anything at all anymore ever since the meds. Not really. So maybe with the next med, I'm gonna be good. Other people are gonna need a few more meds that they need to try out. Some people are more lucky than others, respond to something better than others, so who knows. But this is why you need to talk to your doctor or your therapist, and in the meantime, you just need to open up to people and explain to them. It's not just awkward or weird for us who have depression to have depression, It's also weird for people around you if they don't know what's going on, and if you don't tell them, how would they know, Like, they're just gonna assume stuff if they don't know. So if you tell them, they know, and then they can be like, oh, so this person isn't just lazy, they're actually they have depression. It's a thing. It used to not be a thing. But now it's a thing more than ever. It's everywhere. Awareness everywhere. So it's not a bad thing to have depression. It's just like what they said in this game too. It's like, we're all ashamed to have depression. Would we be ashamed to have, a broken arm, or would we be ashamed that it took out our tonsils or something? No, because it's a body thing, and depression is a mind thing. It's something that is broken, quote unquote, in our brain, and it just happens. So while you can't just fix it with an operation, you can help it with therapy and meds. So I really want to encourage everybody with depression to see a therapist and maybe get some meds if it's really bad. Who knows, maybe therapy alone works, For some people it works. For other people it's like, well, we need meds here because it's just that bad, or that progressed, you know. And don't listen to anybody who tells you to just get over it, or that you're exaggerating or some shit. They're not you. They don't feel what you're feeling. So if you feel like it's depression, go see somebody who can diagnose it, and you know, improve it so you can actually have a life again. So that's pretty much all I want to say. I mean, I feel like this game did a wonderful job at explaining all of this, and it's a really good game. Yeah, you know, game in quotation marks. It's more of a, it's kind of like a visual novel without the visuals, but it's a good medium. It was a good, it was really good. So I recommend this. I can agree with everything they're saying. If you want to play it, play it. It's definitely different if you play it as opposed to just watching it. And again, maybe you can experiment with some options, or you can just use this my walkthrough as my playthrough as a how to get out of depression for yourself. That would be great. So yeah, I think I've talked enough. My voice is pretty much gone anyway. I know this was a more serious video series, but I feel like after what I've seen recently in our chat and stuff, I felt like it would be a good addition, maybe good thing to bring out. If you don't want to watch it because you don't have depression, or because, I don't know, you don't want to be sad or whatever, that's cool, but I really recommend watching this if you have depression, or if you know somebody who does. So we're still sort of trying to understand how this all goes. So yep. In that case, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.